The voice was small, hesitant. Robert Hayes looked up from his untouched coffee, startled. A little girl, maybe 7, with braids tied in uneven ribbons, stood beside his table, her eyes wide with concern. He blinked. No one had asked him that in years. "I'm fine," he said, but his voice cracked on the word. She tilted her head, unconvinced. "You don't look fine. You look like my grandpa when he's sad." Robert felt something break inside him. He was 62 years old, CEO of a company worth millions, surrounded by people all day, yet utterly alone. His penthouse echoed with silence. His phone held hundreds of contacts, but no one to call at 3 a.m. when the loneliness pressed too hard against his chest. "Maybe I am a little sad," he admitted quietly. The girl nodded seriously and slid into the chair across from him. "My name's Emma. What's yours?" "Robert." "That's a nice name." She pulled a crumpled drawing from her pocket, a house with a crooked door and a smiling sun. "I made this today. You can have it if you want." He stared at the paper, his throat tight. "Why would you give this to me?" "Because sometimes people need something to make them smile." She shrugged, suddenly shy. "My mom says kindness doesn't cost anything." Before he could respond, a woman rushed over, Emma's mother, apologizing breathlessly. But Robert shook his head. "She's been very kind." The mother smiled, relieved, and guided Emma away. But the girl turned back. "Will you be here tomorrow, Robert?" He hesitated, then nodded. He came back the next day, and the day after that. Emma always found him, bringing small gifts, a dandelion, a smooth stone, another drawing. She talked endlessly about school, her friends, her dreams of becoming a veterinarian. Robert listened, something inside him slowly thawing. One afternoon, Emma asked, "Do you have any kids?" The question cut deep. "I had a son once," Robert said softly. "Michael. We stopped talking years ago. I was too busy building my company. Too proud to admit I was wrong." Emma frowned. "That's sad." "Yes," he whispered. "It is." She reached across the table and patted his hand. "Maybe it's not too late." That night, Robert sat in his empty office, Emma's words echoing. He pulled out his phone, scrolled to a number he hadn't dialed in 5 years. His finger hovered over Michael's name. He pressed call. It rang twice. Then a familiar voice, cautious. "Dad." "Michael." Robert's voice shook. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I let work matter more than you, and I can't carry that anymore." Silence stretched between them. Then, quietly, "I've been waiting to hear that." They talked for 2 hours. About regrets, about lost time, about the possibility of trying again. When Robert hung up, he was crying, but for the first time in years, it wasn't from loneliness. Weeks passed. Michael came to visit. They met at the cafe where it all began. Robert introduced him to Emma, who beamed and said, "I told you it wasn't too late." Michael looked confused, but Robert just smiled. That evening, as the sun set through the cafe windows, Emma's mother approached Robert. "You've been so kind to my daughter," she said. "I wanted you to know, she talks about you all the time. You've made a difference." Robert shook his head. "She saved me. I was drowning, and I didn't even realize it. She reminded me that connection matters more than success. That being seen matters more than being important." Emma tugged his sleeve. "Robert? Can I ask you something?" "Anything. Are you still sad?" He looked at Michael beside him, at this little girl who'd given him a second chance at living, at the warmth finally returning to his world. "No, sweetheart. I'm not sad anymore." She grinned. "Good. Because you smile really nice." As they left the cafe together, Robert, Michael, Emma, and her mother, Robert glanced back at the table where he'd once sat alone. That man felt like a stranger now. "Are you okay, sir?" The question still echoed in his heart. And now, finally, he could answer, "Yes, I am." Sometimes the smallest act of kindness can rebuild an entire life. Sometimes a child's courage can heal a grown man's heart. And sometimes being truly wealthy means having someone who cares enough to ask if you're okay.